So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and it's my great pleasure to partner with Manatech and Diana and Gary and each and every one of you to join together on a Saturday to share and experience education, learning, inspiration, partnership, and obviously our wonderful N5M opportunity. Today we're talking everything business. So this is a business focused call. And Manatech has generously and gracefully offered us a new opportunity in Manatech in the last year or so. It's called Penny, and the activity and the uptake of that is taking speed because you might never have done anything like this before. And I'm so very grateful that Colleen Ryan has been working on this for a while. She's probably 6 months ahead of us, or she can tell us when she gets started, but there's nothing like having a leg up or a hand up in regards to learning something new. Now, a little bit about Colleen. Colleen is a registered natural health practitioner, personal development coach, and social entrepreneur. As a gold executive, she specializes in holistic and an integrative approach to wellness and lifestyle with real food nutrition. Colleen is a qualified teacher and instructor trainer in multiple natural health modalities, including kinesiology, stress release, acupressure, and emotional healing and physical recovery. And she includes sports performance. Very active woman. She combines her 35 years experience in her busy clinic in Cambridge, together with teaching and online support to her students. She has served as president of the New Zealand Touch for Health Association. She holds numerous dance titles and has held position of head judge rock and roll dance in New Zealand as a hobby. Colleen has invested many years as a coach and mentor to young people in the field of dance and is instrumental in helping to elevate dancers to top champion status. Being a person of service, she continues to create a legacy that empowers people to achieve and live their best life with optimal health while living a life of significance. Having just returned from the Tasmanian incentive, Colleen will share her journey and in particular, highlights of getting started with Penny. So I don't know if I didn't run this past you, Colleen, but I thought you should share about Tasmania. And you're just going on almost every incentive. I've seen you on so many. So what do you recommend for people, and what are the benefits of striving to achieve that incentive and then obviously experiencing the amazing journeys?
Thank you, Sharon and Gary, and welcome everybody, and thanks for inviting me here. Thanks for that great introduction and that lovely question, because I just really want to keep it very simple today. As I go through my life, things need to be really simple. So the penny, I want to make it simple. The incentives, simple, not always easy, but simple. Nothing we haven't heard before. But when you ask me that question and I think and I contemplate on that journey that we had 10 months to go for that incentive for Tasmania. I think the thing when I come home, it's a sense of achievement, a sense of satisfaction is the biggest thing in our lives. We all need, don't we, that sense of satisfaction that the decisions we've made, the actions we've taken, the people we've tried to help has made a difference to others and hopefully made a difference to us as well. So that sense of satisfaction, but also probably really, really more important than that for me is community. As I go through my life, I realize more and more and more how important community is, how it's really amazing to be around like-minded people, just like we are here this morning in this forum. So community and connection can take many forms. So thank you, Sharon and your team, for providing these Saturday morning calls. Because it's that sense of community when we're around like-minded people, when we can share common values, common goals, and shared vision as well. So that connection is really, really important. So I think that's when I think about the incentives over the years, I think there's been one or two I haven't been able to, didn't achieve. But yeah, for a fair amount of them, I have. And I just really want to say a couple of things about that before we get on to the penny stuff, is I said yes, please, right from get-go. So I made that decision in my head. I didn't know how, but I said yes. I said, yes, please. And I put the little flyer up on my fridge magnet, which I heard Chris talking about that last week. Put it up on your fridge, because what that does, it does something to our brain. It takes the confusion out of our brain, and it says to our brain, yes, I'm going to work for this. Yes, I'm going to go here. I'm going to be with my mates again, and hang out and have a nice time, but celebrate and enjoy the work and the effort that's been put in. I didn't say maybe I'll see how it turns out. I'll see how I feel. I'll see what happens. I think the biggest thing, folks, and it's even a lesson for me too all the time, is I almost said, well, I'm not sure about this one. The market's too hard. It's too hard. How am I going to do it? But I didn't. I knew enough to say, yes, please. And that yes, please. So it really does make a difference. And I just want to, I've lost it now in the brain. I was reading from the Zig Ziglar book, and he talks about, saying yes to things that you want. So the left brain can grab hold of that information, and the right brain, which is your creative part of your brain, can then find those creative little navigation tools to ensuring that you have a good go at achieving it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So folks, try not to worry too much about the how, because we get the how and the help, don't we, as we go through that time frame. Apparently, the law is that you just say yes, yes, please. And then if you want to, we all have choice, and it's okay. But then the way opens up, and it takes that confusion away. So I would say the link, just to finish off on that little topic, the link between incentives and business is like that. It's a knot. And I've come to learn that, and I'm sure you guys realize that as well. There's no separation really, because the incentives for me anyhow empower that right creative brain. Oh, I better phone that person. Oh, I better send them a message in Penny. You know what? I might just follow up with that conversation with that person that we had the other day when she said she had a sore shoulder. I might just take that extra effort. I might just see if I can hold a face-to-face presentation now and again. It makes me do things, and even things I don't feel like doing, even things that feel a little uncomfortable. It still makes me do those things. So incentives drive your attitude. It makes me make that call, have that presentation, have that vision, and it also helps me look forward to something. So we're in an incentive time now, I believe. It started now. We don't know where we're going, do we? But we know there's something on the table for us. And I would love, as we all do, want to take more of our team there. I'd want my team to come with me on incentives. So any questions about that or comments about that you'd like to know a bit more? That's it really in a nutshell.
Everybody's calling about your skin. Yeah, I think they get that. And, this current incentive is pretty exciting, isn't it? It's, all of it, I scanning through, there's some new people here, but also some veterans. And, I'm sure all kinds of people will watch this recording. And, we've had incentives that send us down the right path, and sometimes I wonder, is this really a sustainable journey for my business? And this one is completely sending people down a perfect path for a solid and sustainable growth of their business. And so I think they really ace this one, and I think it's worthwhile taking a look at, because even if you don't get the whole, you can't get the whole thing if you don't try. And even if you try and you get halfway, you've solidified your business. It's in a really important way. So and helped a lot of people along the way. So Colleen, thank you. I think they've done a great job this time. So I'll hand over to you, because I'm going to open Penny and follow you along.
All right. Thanks, Sharon. Yeah. So Penny. I think the big thing is don't get too overwhelmed with Penny. When we open the screens, you'll see there is actually quite a lot, well, I think so, quite a lot of information coming at you. There's a lot of words, there's a lot of stuff that seems to come up on the screen. However, it is a very user-friendly system. And it's this artificial intelligence, this AI is embedded into Penny. So the thing I've learned about it is it kind of helps, it thinks for me. And that's what a lot of these platforms sort of do now. It tells me, oh, Colleen, maybe I could, time to reach out to this person. So it gives me options and ideas of what I can do, who I can talk to, who I can open a conversation with. So think of keeping it very simple, because like I said in the start, I need things for me to be simple and I need them to be quick. So I've embraced Penny because that is what the company provided for us. So I thought at first, oh no, a new thing to have to learn. But, once I got in there and had a look around and listened to some of the tutorials, and I know that you guys have been doing that as well, each time I listen to it again and again, it embeds that familiarity and deeper knowledge. Just before I open up my page, Penny is free, isn't it, Sharon? I think Penny's free for
Yes, it is.
It's not costing you and I anything.
Well, it's not free to Manatech.
No,
it's free to us.
It's free to us. Yeah, sorry, I meant to. Yeah, it's free to us.
Correct.
So it's a tool that Manatech have been given us, and I can see why, because it's a tool that we can open a conversation with somebody. Now, a couple of things about Penny. Please don't make things too, we're not writing a novel, not writing an essay. It's really a little hello, Sharon. Great, I saw you down the street the other day. And as promised, I'd love to, hear some little bit of information about what we spoke about that might help you with, and add in what that help you with might be. All right, if you know what it is. So it's not a great big in-depth conversation, novel that you're having with somebody. So do keep it very simple. The other thing is, it's not a spam machine, so we don't spam people. In other words, they are legitimate connections that you are making with people. All right. Well, this is how I use it. So I collect people's business cards, people that have had conversations with down the street, in the supermarket, at events, referrals, things like that. That's how I use Penny. So there's a reason to connect with someone generally. Sometimes I might do what we call a cold call. That's someone I haven't had any connection with, but there's usually a common thread as to why I might do that. It might be a line of work that we're in, something like that. So what I want to show you this morning is how to, the most important thing I think is to load up your prospects. Now, because I'm opening my Penny, I cannot share you because of privacy, my connections and contacts, because I can't do that. So I'm going to create a new one for you. So hopefully you're all able to see my screen.
Yes, looks good.
The fingers, the head, that.
Yeah, it looks great. I'm going to go off camera, so I'm not distracting, but I'm going to work with you.
Yeah. So see at the top, it says, how do you feel today? Easy, does it? Crank it up. And I'm always on a freight train. Doesn't mean I actually do the freight train. So if I said, look, you know what? I'm just going to easy does it. I feel like easy does it. And it will suggest to me some actions and activities that will measure my frame of mind. I just need an easy day today. Show me a few things I can have the chance to do today. Reach outs to 5, follow-ups to 3 people, check-in with 2, personal check-in, subscription to 3. You might think, when I need to crank it up. There's a start of a new month right now, And I know what I do right now will affect what happens at the end of the business month. So I need to crank it up now, because I might need a few conversations with that person before I can help them make a decision to get onto our product or partner with our company. So I might crank it up. You'll notice the reach outs went to 12, the follow-ups went to 8, the check-ins went to 2. And then if you say, you know what, I'm on a freight train here, I've got an hour up my sleeve, I'm going to really, really pump it with some things and see what I can get through today. So that's what I was talking about in relation to you can decide how you're feeling and what you want to do. So don't become overwhelmed with it. If anything, stay on the easy does it if you're new to Penny, and build it up from there. Isn't that cool? Just want to show you down the right-hand side, boost your knowledge, expand your understanding and learn. So you can click on those blue links, and there's videos you can watch, there's articles you can read, and do that regularly on different topics. Because what I noticed in Penny is they've even got information on how to put together your message, starting with your why, your how and your what, as opposed to starting with what we got, how we do it, and then the why at the end. So that's the Simon Sinek information. It's always starting with your why. And we'll talk about that a little bit later too, if there's time. So how do you feel today? So that's it. So you've got daily. Then you've got something called prospecting. And you've got something called customer care, team care, custom links, content, and contacts. So prospecting are, just as that name suggests, is where you would put prospects into your Penny. Customer care, that's all your customers and all the people that you have in your organization with Manatech already. What happens with all our information and success tracker, or all our connections and contacts and customers and associates, they get loaded up into Penny on a regular basis. So that's why it's called customer care, because there's your customers in there. So you will find where if you sign up, or a few customers sign into your organization, they will appear in Penny under customer care. They've got this behind the scenes link that does it for you. Team care is, I don't use that actually at the moment. Remember I said I keep things simple. I'm still learning about how to do that. Custom links, I don't use that. Content is important because that's where we've got videos, we've got PDFs and links and things as well. Olivia, a few weeks ago, our Olivia Seberg, uploaded quite a lot to content a little while back. So there's a lot of corporate content in there, and contacts, and there's your help and learning button again. I'm going to go to contacts, and I'm just going to take my, and on the top right, you'll see add. I'm going to add a contact. So I'm going to add Penny Lane. Penny Lane lives in Cambridge, New Zealand. I can enter their phone number. I can enter their email. Now, social profiles. If Penny Lane, if I had my Facebook opened and I searched on Penny Lane on her profile, I would copy and paste that link, that profile in here as another way of connecting with Penny Lane. If there's an Instagram profile, I'd pop it in there, LinkedIn, as well. Then I'd go create. I'm just changing those. I'd go create. And I'd say, characterize Penny Lane. I'd say, she's a prospect, and I'd save it. Okay, so the biggest thing you can do, folks, is add prospects to your Penny. I use the desktop version, what Sharon was saying, because I just find it a bigger screen. It's easier for me to navigate around than on my phone. Schedule reach out. Now I can decide, do I want to talk to Penny today? Do I want to reach out to Penny Lane next week, next month? Or I can pick a date, and I can choose today, and I can schedule that. Would you like to add any notes? And I could say something like, might just help me remember what the nature of my conversation with her might be. So if I go on the left-hand side, you've got daily, and then you might be following this on your own Penny as well. And you've got prospecting. So if I hit on prospecting, there she is. There's Penny Lane. So I'm going to connect on Penny Lane. Remember I said there's always seems to be, the only thing here is there seems to be quite a lot of information on the screen. But if you take your eyes to the right-hand side, there's the information about Penny Lane. April the 1st, reschedule, remove. I can share some content with her, or I can close that box and can close it off. But I'm going to click on Penny Lane. I'm going to add some content. Now, there's content loaded up in Penny, and you'll decide what kind of content suits you. I quite often use this one here. It's called Optimal Health, and it's a video that goes for about 4 minutes or so. And I like it because to me, it's quite inclusive, talks about our unique technology, cellular communication, things like that. But I might want to talk to her about PLUS, or about superfoods, or Catalyst. There's so much there. I hope you can see as I'm scrolling down. You do have to get used to what the content is so that you know what you're sending somebody. Again, I keep things quite simple. I don't want to overwhelm people. If it's somebody new, depending on this conversation I've had, I do like the Optimal Health video, because when you get to see it yourself, you'll know what I mean. It's quite inclusive and tells people why we're different. So if I click on Optimal Health, it's actually a video. Okay, and then I can remember I entered an email address. So I would click on it defaults to email there, and my email will open up. It won't this particular time around, because I'll have to stop the share and open a new share for the email system. However, I think that part you'll be able to follow yourself. So if I clicked on email, it would automatically open my email Outlook. It would have Penny Lane's email. It would have this link. There's that little https penny.direct. That's the link for the video. And I would then write my little message to Penny, and I would send it off to her. Now, it says, hey, the message says, hey, name. I don't tend to use the word hey. I say hello or dear, depending on the nature of my conversation with someone and my relationship with somebody. Enjoy this exciting video. I would probably say a little more than that before I put the video at the end. I would say it was great, great to see you the other day. Just thought I would follow up as promised with this information, which I believe you'll find helpful. take a look and let's have a chat about it. I look forward to talking with you about it afterwards, soon, or something like that, in a few days, when you've had a time to look at it. So you can craft your email and your message as is appropriate for the person, okay? Now, remember I said you could, if they had a Facebook profile, you could copy and paste their Facebook profile into Penny. So if I had done that, in this case, Penny Lane is a fictitious contact, right? Just for the purpose of today. So Messenger would show up there. And I could actually use Messenger to connect with Penny Lane. So you can choose what platform. Penny will send it to the platform that, if it's a LinkedIn connection, Penny Lane will send it, Penny will send it to the platform that that person is connected with. All right. So I just want to go back to content again. And you'll see these little hearts down here, because that's content that I have ticked as favorites for me, content that I like to use quite often. But I might like to create new content, upload an image, add a video, add a link, add a PDF. Let's say I want to add a link. Paste the link here. Now, have you thought about what you could paste here? What comes to mind when you think what you could paste here? It could be your referral paste in your own Manatech website. https:// ours is nz.manatech.com/, then your name, / then your associate number, remember? Or if you're a customer, I'm not sure if customers get to use Penny or not. But you could paste in here your referral that's on your office page to your own website. Everybody knows what that link is, don't they? Hopefully you're using it, because and you put it in there, go to the next message, send that off to them and craft a message for them as well. So when they click on that link, guess what? It's going to automatically take them to your website where it says you are now shopping with Sharon, with Gary, with Diana, with Colleen, with Rhonda. You are now shopping with. So it's very important that you understand what those links are. You might want a product recommendation plus. Oh, actually, I was going to cancel that. See if I can start again. Create new content. Add a PDF. Create new content. You can create your own stuff in Penny, but to be honest, folks, there is plenty in here already uploaded, and we'll have a look at that in a minute, for you to use. Product recommendation plus. That's a little bit about plus, and I can email that off to them. When I've done what I needed to do, I can reschedule and say, you know what? I want to talk. I don't want too much time to go along. I want to keep connected with Penny quite closely. So I want to talk to her again next week and check, hey, have you been able to look at what I've sent you? And if we go to prospecting, Penny Lane will come up for next week. It's so important they say the fortune is in the follow-up. We've heard all this before. So what Penny does, it helps us remember who we need to follow up with and suggests to us who we need to make connection with for various reasons. Customer care, that's where your customers will be loaded. I want to come to content. And you'll see on the right, it says your most used content. There's my video of glycobiology, which I kind of use quite a lot. But up here, it says corporate content. New associates start here, opportunity, product, social media. And if I tick that little arrow along, there's 75 different links in this last one. So let's just click on that. And I must say, this is the part that there does seem to be a lot of writing, on one page to view, but it's just the way this is. That's right. I want to take you down to this one here that says plus product description. Don't know if that looks like something I might be able to use. Let's view it. Let me have a look at what it is. And it's a link. So if I was to send this particular content to someone, it's a PDF that I'm sending them. And these are all in our Manatech library. Hopefully you're still seeing this. Did it move over, Sharon, to Plus with Ambritose?
Yes, it did. Yes, it is.
Thanks. I'm not quite sure if it does because it goes to a different system. So this time I chose, these are great PDFs to send people, by the way. Plus with Ambritose maintains general health and well-being. Very easy to read. So when the person clicks on that one, this is what they are going to see. Okay. Isn't that amazing? So Ambritose product life. Let's have a look. If I wanted to send it to someone or mark it with the little heart as a favorite, then I've marked it as a favorite and I can easily find it for next time. If I want to have a look at it first, you're always good to know what you're sending somebody, right? Ambritose Life product description sheet. Let's click on the link, see what it looks like. Ambritose Life. So we're familiar with this particular type of PDF. So you don't have to spend heaps of money by printing all these things out, okay? It's already there for us. Australia, New Zealand, Singapore. So that's all under content. Superfood, that looks like a video, overview video. So I've obviously saved that one as a favorite. And you know what? I could share it. You know what? I'm going to try and share that with Penny Lane. I think Penny Lane would enjoy learning about or hearing about our superfoods, reds and greens. And there I would tick that email box and it would flip over to my email box and I'd just type a little message and off it goes. The only other important thing I would say is once you've sent that information off to somebody, that it brings it back here to the person you've been connecting with, and you've got to choose, do I want to reschedule? When am I going to talk to them next? Next week, next month, and then close it off. Don't worry if you miss that part though, because Penny will remind you, because especially if this person is still in a prospect situation, they will keep coming up in your prospects. Is there a question there, Sharon, from somebody?
There is. And have you noticed in your explanation to date that you can see when somebody's actually viewed the content that you sent them? And if so, where do you see that?
Yes, it does. It does come up if someone has viewed it. It comes up in an email for me. If
There must be a notification.
If they've
some.
yeah. Actually, I'm not too sure about that now. Sorry. I'm not sure I can
That's
answer
okay.
that properly. So I might have to find out about that one. I know when they click on the video, I've had confirmation that someone has viewed it. Yes. But I might need to put some thought.
Oh,
Not
you
sure.
can't look in Penny Lane because she's, so I imagine it will show up in their contact. And somebody just said it shows up on the app.
Oh,
You
there
might
you
get a notification on the app.
Yeah.
And then we can, further investigation needed to know in the back office here where it shows up.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for quantifying that. Yeah, it does. We do get notified that they've viewed it. Because I know sometimes when I was testing the system out, I would go in and click on the link that I'd emailed somebody to test what it would look like at their end, at the receiver, what the experience would be like for the person receiving that information. And then I'd get a little message, someone, Penny Lane has viewed your video, but it was actually me that was opening it up when we first started using Penny.
And there's another question, Colleen, how do I mark when I've completed a task, or is it psychic, Penny?
Oh, there is a little place that you can go complete. There's Penny Lane. Click on Penny. I can click complete there. I can close it, complete.
So that was a reach out. Yeah.
There's a chance. Next week. Reschedule. Close. Oh, I might have done that a bit fast, sorry. I think the thing is, don't worry too, if you miss a little step, the artificial intelligence within Penny will bring it back up for us to view.
Well, it's got a little green check there on the left now that you've done that, right?
Yeah.
Under Penny Lane's account, or whatever you want to call it, contact.
So, I enjoy it. I think the contacts is really important. Contacts, keep adding your contacts, add a contact. I would try and add, you've got to be adding a few each day, definitely a few each week, all right? Go in every day and try and add 1 or 2 people into your contacts every day. I did notice in Penny, I haven't done this, there is a way to import all your contacts on your phone. I haven't done that. So try and add your contacts in and list them as a prospect. And just have them in there, and then Penny will suggest to you when you want to reach out to them.
I can add something to that, Colleen. When Manatech Plus was notified as finishing, I exported a spreadsheet, CSV file it's called, which is sounds fancy, but it's pretty simple. And then it imports the CSV, and it was set up so all the information. So a CSV will go into a spreadsheet, would have, first name and last name and phone number all in different lines, and it automatically imported into the right fields. And then my next step is I also exported that information into a Word document manually, all the history of comments from Manatech Plus. And
Wow.
so now I'll enter that historical data so that I can remember my history with these people. And then I can move forward. So that's my next job for me.
Thanks, because I think that could benefit a few of us knowing how to do that. So that'd be great, Sharon. So just a couple of things, maybe. Here we are at Penny Lane, this contact that you can see on my screen. And the layout. It's not too bad when you look at it. It may seem a little overwhelming at first, but PL, Penny Lane, we don't really see in samples. Details, activity. I reached out on the 1st of April today to her. I'm going to follow up with Penny on the 8th of April. Tags, haven't got a tag for her. I keep
But
things.
hey, Colleen, can you show that? Because that's one thing that's really important, tags. So they should have a drop-down list there, do they?
No,
They don't. So then this is something that I have experience with is I'd recommend you get, business, wellness, physical, sport or performance or immune system, like, and make it consistent. You type it the same all the time. So make a list. And if you've got memory problems like me, if we scan, we're probably, we're a senior community and relatively in Manatech right now, we got to change that. Use the same word each time. So you're going to have to remember what tags you develop. So think through what, and then if you go, I've registered this person on the optimal health, but she told me that, she's got a granddaughter and she's worried about their immune system. So a Manabear special comes out and you took children, if you got her tagged with children, even though it's not her primary interest, but you can add tags as you talk and build relationships to your people.
Oh,
so if you go children's.
Can a person have more than one tag?
Yes, as many as you want.
Right.
Yeah, and maybe interested in the business, part-time, or maybe you have business for someone who's full on, and then go extra income for someone might be interested, for a little bit more. You can, if we have specials in Manatech, that's how you can search on that and make sure that you can send that information to those people.
Hey, thank you. There you go. I've learned something there. I really appreciate that. So if like Sharon said, if something's coming up, like we've got the recharge specials, the purify specials and things like that,
like's a good deal.
Well, the is, and we want them to, they might want them for their grandchildren or their children. We can type in the tag and it'll bring who we've tagged up in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So details. 41 degrees. I don't know what, it's not 41 degrees. I don't know what's going on there. Yes, Cambridge. Right. So you've got your contact, you've got your content edit. Now, so if I needed to edit anything, if Penny changed her phone number, or I wanted to copy and paste her Facebook profile into there, I would press the edit button and add more information for Penny. Merge. Now, merge is an interesting one. Sometimes you'll find there are duplications, like I've added Penny here as a prospect. Next week, I might enroll her. She might sign up, onto some product with us, which is fantastic. So eventually she will pop up in my customer care over on this left-hand side where the heart is. That's our customer care. And every now and again, you might see there's 2 profiles potentially for the same person. Very, very easy to fix or to merge. You just click the merge button and the 2 will merge together. So that's happened to me a couple of times. Do not contact if they say we don't, for some reason, you can press that button, additional information, or delete them. I never delete anybody. There was one thing I was going to talk about as well. Penny Lane. Context, help and learning. Help and learning is really amazing. There is some very good stuff there. Remember I said about how to craft an email or how to craft a few words. The biggest advice or recommendation I think that I can give you is please just keep things simple, as if you and I are just having a conversation now. Penny is just a communication, is a communication tool, a touching base, a reaching out. So we don't have to make it too difficult, and just make it you. And it talks about putting your why first. So the why needs to be the thread that threads through most of your conversations with people. So I want you to think, even if you can write it down now, what your why might be, and then how you did it and what you did. So for example, my why I might be saying to someone, hey, I've always struggled with keeping good energy sustained through my working day. So I set up an account with a company with Real Food Nutrition that's really enabled me to keep my energy up, and I feel great. And now I help other people do the same thing who want the same thing. Can you see how that's a story that starts with the why, the how, and the what, rather than the other way around? And
Simple and receivable, Colleen. That's an awesome one.
oh, thanks. Yeah. And we can have lots of whys. Another why might be something like, write it down here a bit. Depending on, remember those tags that Sharon talked about. So depending on the nature of what it is that you're wanting to talk to someone about. Have one written down. This one here. Used to work at a corporate job, 9 till 5. And so I understand what it means to be an employee. I then went into my passion to learn natural health therapies and became self-employed. Then I was introduced to a company that had unique technology that supported a healthy lifestyle. I said, yes, please, put my energy and time and commitment into that home-based business. And now my work, that income replaces my normal working hours income. So it's that sort of storyline in your own words. So that's the only other thing I'd really love to leave you with, that little bit of information. And one of the things that I try and remind myself and my team around is the close. The fortunes and the follow-up. Yes, 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 yes. Then the follow-up and the follow-up. But please remember that process of the close. We're following up to try and determine, have they looked at it? Have they seen it? What do they like most about it? Can they see how this is going to help whatever that problem is, or challenge or concern? And we have to go through those stages. And then when they say, yeah, I can, can see that, how this is going to help their problem, challenge, or concern. Okay, this is what I'd recommend for you. Whatever you'd like to recommend for them. And then the next part of it is, what do you think is the next best step for you? And then you stay quiet. You don't say anything. What do you think the next best thing for you is to do now? What would you like to do? And you let them make the decision. So just sometimes, I sort of have in the past, I've rushed to the solution instead of following that cycle. The whole point of Penny is to share some information with them. Gosh, stop that share now. Send some information with them around what's relevant for them. And to find out what's relevant for them, if they're a relatively new person, you might want to look at their social media profile to determine what their interests are. Is it sport? Are they a business person? Are they family orientated? Do they travel a lot? Try and get a sense of their character and personality and what you think might be of value to them. And always talking to them or trying to communicate with them. We started this call out today with being of service. So how can I bring service? How can I bring some value to that person in front of me? We've got lots of products and opportunity here in our company to offer them, but what is the one thing or the couple of things that's going to make sense for them? And then simply, can you see how this is going to help you solve this or add value to whatever you're doing? If they can't see it, they're never going to say yes, because they can't see the value and the relevance. So it might take more time. You just sit with them, more time, to have that conversation with them. And then eventually, great, what would you think you'd like to do? So I hope you found—
That's a qualifying question that you're just explaining to people. So you're qualifying them. So then you know that you haven't really pinned down their why, right? If at that point you haven't connected their why with your solution. So it's often about more questions and what would it take for you to feel comfortable with looking at this for your sore hands or whatever.
You're absolutely right. And I think that can take time. We get told a lot, don't we, what we think the first way is, actually the reason is way beyond that, way and behind that. What they really need is often not the first need that they sing out for.
Yeah. And
So
questions and understanding and compassion are really important in building those relationships, aren't they, Colleen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you've enjoyed that.
Yeah. Colleen, it's been awesome, and everybody's been playing along, so to speak, in the chat, and I'm sure they're playing on their devices at the same time, and if not now, into the future. Also wanted to, let's just get a little survey here. I think this would be helpful every 3 or 4 weeks to keep, and I know that's a long gap, but would you like to continue to, because I think this will be a 6-month journey to getting really good with Penny. So let me see consensus if that's something that would be useful for you. I'll have to find someone to give their time, might be Colleen and I, but there'll be more stellar leaders. Okay. More stellar leaders rising up as we move into this in the coming weeks. So, and really Manatech is all about sharing what we know and lifting everybody up with us, right?
Yeah.
We've got to bring the whole community along. And especially in Australasia, how secure is Penny? It's ultra secure, Sandy and Oscar. That's a great question. We can look up on the Penny app that's an FAQ, but that was a question that I had as well. So yeah, it's safe and secure. And so many things are getting hacked of late. The charity that I mentioned earlier, we had a credit card fraud last weekend that charged, and it was really weird. They somehow got credit card details fraudulently donated to the charity, but with other people's charity and they were never in our database. It was random, absolutely random. So I think, I believe that Penny is state of the art in security. Having said that, there's really weird stuff happening on the planet at the moment because, that fraudulent experience, I've got 89 people contacting me angry, and we were the victim in it equally to them. So, there's weird things happening, but having said that, I've read about their security and it's solid. So I'd say there's a majority here. I'll look at the chat later for people who'd like to see and would take advantage of this going forward, more topics, more focus on this. So God bless you all. Have a great week and have a happy Easter. Next week is Easter, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Next week is Easter. And also remember, daylight savings changes in some states in Australia this weekend. So all our times will be different next time. It'll be 9 o'clock for us in Queensland. What is it? 8:30 for South Australia. Back on track with our Victoria, New South Wales colleagues. So in 2 weeks, we'll see you at daylight standard time. No, Australian Standard Time, whether it's Eastern, whatever. All the other ones are Mountain, Western. I can't remember. Just make me fool myself.
Tonight in New Zealand too, so we go.
Okay, so I never remember who's on and who's off.
Yeah.
It's all about the cows, I understand. Have a great time, you guys. See you in 2 weeks.
It's love to hear you. Bye-bye.
If the world changes in the next 2 weeks, stay safe, stay home and stay safe. See you, everybody.
Sharon. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, Colleen.